What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Friday. Hope you guys had a fantastic and relaxing Thanksgiving yesterday, minus the Cowboys winning and the Vikings winning and the Bills winning, all of which we did not want to happen, but I digress. What are you going to do? Now, you're probably asking, Thomas, what's going on a Friday in the world of Philadelphia and the rest of the NFL? There's some injury updates that need to be going, at least updated on. I want to get these guys to you here pretty quickly, just so that way you know what's going on for Sunday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers, because there's been some big headlines showing A.J. Brown injured, DeVonta Smith missed practice. It's not that big of a deal. I want to explain to you guys here to go ahead and start today's show. As you see, Bleeding Green Nation has the updated injury report, and of course the headline, a little concerning. A.J. Brown misses practice, DeVonta Smith limited, but whenever you actually read through the details, it's not as bad as it seems, which is good news for Philadelphia coming up on Sunday night. So here we go. Philadelphia Eagles issued their first official injury report on Thursday in advance of Week 12 Sunday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers. One player did not participate in practice, and that was A.J. Brown. Brown was out due to illness. We would imagine he will be fine to play on Sunday night. Okay? Important. Fine to play on Sunday night. We have an update on that as well in a second. Two players were listed under limited participation due to non-rest reasons. Those players were DeVonta Smith and Josh Jobe. Smith is a new addition after not being listed on Wednesday's report. Smith was listed 2 days in practice last week before fully practicing on Friday and playing on Sunday, where we think he's going to play against Green Bay. So, again, the update here is that, surprised to see them on the injury list, but an illness is normally not a big deal for most players in the National Football League, and A.J. Brown did practice today. Everything that I am told is that he was out there and good to go, and so the illness seems to be not a big factor for Philadelphia, at least for the A.J. Brown situation. Now, it's worth noticing when you do look at the limited participant players, you do have to at least acknowledge DeVonta Smith is dealing with some sort of knee injury. Now, how big of a factor it is, we probably won't know until the season is over. And maybe in the offseason, he has some microscopic surgery, a cleanup. They announced that he had a knee sprain but was playing through it. You know how this happens in the National Football League, where they don't want to give away the fact that one of their star players is more hurt than he appears. He seems to be fine, though, when actually playing. And I know he's not had a monster game in a couple of weeks, but a couple of big catches last week against the Colts, and he cut up on that knee. He seems to be at least good enough to play, hence why he was only limited. Everybody else here is, the age rest thing that Philadelphia's been doing for the better part of the Nick Sirianni tenure, and that is if you are over a certain age or played a certain amount of seasons, you are getting rest on Wednesday or Thursday. You see Bradbury, Dickerson. Dickerson's not that old, but he still is dealing with an ankle injury, and so that's why he rests. Brandon Graham, obviously, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Isaiah Malu, Darius Slay, and Josh Sweat. Sweat doing a little bit of a an ankle thing from getting rolled over on in last week's game as well. So that's good news right now for Philadelphia regarding what is exactly going on with his situation and the rest of the Eagles. So the important point is that they're going to be fine. You should not worry about Philadelphia in terms of what if they have some sort of serious injury here, or what if DeVonta Smith is unable to play? They're all going to be able to play. It's going to be just fine. Do not worry about Philadelphia. And again, these headlines do pop up, and it's worth at least acknowledging, because anytime someone pops up on an actual injury report, it is worth breaking down, but nothing serious here. Philadelphia should be just fine. Now, when it comes to the Green Bay Packers, couple of interesting things to note. This is the most recent updated injury report. Quote, starting wide receiver Romeo Dobbs and starting linebacker DeVonta Campbell both missed practice for a second day in a row. They're on track to miss this game. Starting left tackle David Bakhtiari, starting left guard Elton Jenkins were noticeably upgraded to limited. Aaron Rodgers was upgraded from limited to full go. So not having Dobbs or Campbell is big news. Campbell's one of the best tackling linebackers in the National Football League, one of the better defensive players for the Green Bay Packers. Him being out is a big loss for Green Bay. Romeo Dobbs is... it's a loss. I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo Romeo Dobbs. He's not, Devontae Adams, and Christian Watson really has been the star receiver over the past couple of weeks. He's one that Darius Slay and James Bradbury will have to go ahead and keep an eye on. But Dobbs and Campbell both missing is at least noteworthy for Philadelphia from a defensive and, I guess, offensive perspective as well. Bakhtiari being limited, that means he probably will go ahead and play, but a couple of these offensive linemen are a little bit banged up, and maybe the Eagles' defense, especially the interior defensive line, can get some better push, stop the run a little bit better, and maybe get after Aaron Rodgers and force him to throw a lot of the uncharacteristic interceptions that he's had over the past couple of weeks. Now, Rodgers, again, dealing with that thumb injury, talked about that on a show just the other day. He's fully ready to play. He's going to be fine. There was even a discussion earlier this week about how they never even thought about benching him despite having a broken thumb right now. That's how confident they are in his ability to throw the football. So he's going to be in a little bit of pain. I'm sure they're giving him pain meds. I'm sure he's going to be fine. Make sure you get ready to play normal Aaron Rodgers on Sunday, regardless of how he actually ends up playing. Okay, we'll get into the playoff picture here in just 1 second. First, though, you guys want to do bet on the Eagle game on Sunday night. You're feeling good about the Eagles' chances against the Green Bay Packers. DraftKings, an LMI affiliate link, has a really good offer for you right now. You bet $5 on the Eagles, you get $200 back if they win in free bets. Link is down below in the description box right now. Seriously, just sign up. Register, place that $5+ deposit, $5+ money line bet on the Eagles on Sunday night, get $200 back if the Eagles win. That's $200 in addition to your winnings. Be sure to jump in on this deal before Sunday night. The way you can potentially get some extra free bets and a lot more money via DraftKings. Okay, let's go over here to yesterday's games. We got to at least mention the fact in terms of our NFL national story of the day. It was a worst case scenario for Philadelphia regarding the Thanksgiving Day games because all the teams you wanted to lose ended up winning. You were rooting against the Buffalo Bills, not really because it's a big deal for Philadelphia, but it's fun to see the Detroit Lions actually win a game and what was their highest capacity crowd at Ford Field since 2011. Unable to pull that off, but I do think Buffalo has shown they are a lot more vulnerable and not as good as people had them at one point when many people considered Buffalo to be the true cream of the AFC crop after they had beaten Kansas City a couple of weeks ago. Dallas looked rough in that first half. They were down in the first half 13-7. Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions there in the first half, but they were able to slowly start figure things out in that second half. CeeDee Lamb was absolutely fantastic. I do think that this was probably a better outcome than you could have hoped for in a Cowboy win. They didn't blow them out. This wasn't 40-3 like you saw with the Minnesota Vikings last week. Dallas is beatable. And I know that a lot of people are saying, Thomas, you're scared of Dallas. Thomas, don't worry about Dallas. I'm not scared of them. I'm just acknowledging that they're probably the second best team in the NFC right now. And that December 24th matchup in a couple of weeks could really be a division decider if Philadelphia slips up. Now, if Philadelphia wins this week, wins next week, beats the Giants, then the Christmas Eve game means very little because Philadelphia will still have a 3 or maybe even a 4-game lead over the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East. But had they lost yesterday, it would have just been a lot more comforting. It's a real bummer that they went ahead and won because you always want the Cowboys to lose on Thanksgiving because you picture all those Cowboy fans, gathered around their family, wearing those dumb Cowboy hats, yelling, "We them boys," and then losing. That would have been a really good Thanksgiving treat, but I digress. Same goes for Vikings-Patriots. Again, a close one, a good bounce-back game for Minnesota. You kind of figured after just 3 points last week against Dallas, they would muster a better performance. Although Mac Jones did carve that defense up, and you got to remember, when you talk about the Vikings, everyone talks about the Viking offense, and it's great. It's good. But what happened to the Viking offense when they played the Eagle defense? And vice versa. The Viking defense has a lot of holes. That secondary is not as good as people like to praise them for. Patrick Peterson's name gets mentioned, but he's 89 years old and no longer the ball-hawking best corner in the league that he once was during his time in Arizona. So, again, beatable. Would have liked to see them lose. Half game behind Philadelphia in the NFC playoff picture, but I digress. What are you going to do? We'll wrap up here with the NFC playoff picture as it currently stands. Again, this will change after this weekend's slate of games. Philadelphia is still in the 1 seed, but only by half a game right now over Minnesota. The key factor in Philadelphia winning the division is that you force Dallas to go on the road, and you force Dallas to essentially go on the road their entire playoff, lives in terms of 2022. They would have to go to the Bucks, and then they would have to go to either Philadelphia or Minnesota, right? They would have to make sure to not be at home, get them in cold weather, get Dak Prescott throwing in some, rain, maybe some wind, maybe just some snow in general. That is very, very good news. So you at least would have a scenario where Dallas stays on the road if Philadelphia hangs on to that NFC top spot, because if Philadelphia were to lose the division, then Philadelphia would still be a wild card team, but they'd be the 5 seed, and then you're going on the road to Tampa, and then you're going on the road to Dallas or Minnesota, and that is not the scenario that most Eagle fans, I think, would like. So, this is going to change. We have to keep you guys updated here on the Thomas Mott Show in terms of how the playoff picture looks and what's impactful and what matters and what doesn't. Tomorrow's show will obviously take a closer look at the Sunday slate of games and give you the full breakdown on what Philadelphia should do or who you should root for if you're an Eagle fan or if you're not an Eagle fan in terms of the playoff picture. All right. Before we go ahead and end, quick little thing here. I want to gauge the interest in me doing a live show during Eagles-Packers, just to kind of hang out. If you guys want to watch it with me, it's a possibility. I'm thinking about doing that. If you guys want me to do that, go down below. Let me know in the comments section. Give this show a thumbs up as well. And as always, be sure to subscribe. Plenty of great stuff coming up here. Working during the holidays. That way you have something to enjoy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yesterday with your family as well. Out of time. Go Birds. We'll talk to you guys in tomorrow's show. See ya.